Thank you for coming today. I'm attorney Gloria Allred, and next month on April 28th, the United States Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in two cases, one from Michigan and the other from Kentucky, which challenged the legal ban on same-sex marriage. Today, we're honored to be joined by the courageous couple, DeBoer and Jayne Rowse from Michigan, whose case will be decided by our nation's highest court. Their case is DeBoer versus Snyder, and the decision in their case will have an impact on marriage equality nationwide, because in granting the petition for writs of certiorari, the United States Supreme Court said that it would answer the following question, quote, does the 14th Amendment require a state to license a marriage between two people of the same sex, end quote. DeBoer and Jayne Rowse are hospital nurses who adopted 4 children, 2 of whom have special needs, and all of whom are here with us today. They began their legal battle because they wanted to protect their children. They were concerned that Michigan adoption laws only allowed one parent in an unmarried couple to adopt, and that if that one parent were to die, the other might lose custody of the children. Michigan also banned same-sex marriage so that they were unable to marry to protect their children. They went to trial, and a Michigan judge ruled in their favor. On appeal, however, the United States Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit ruled against them and upheld Michigan's ban on marriage equality for same-sex couples. The United States Supreme Court then granted a writ of certiorari in their case. We're very proud of April and Jayne and of their 2 attorneys, Dana Nessel and Carol Stainer, who have fought so hard for them. Dana and Carol have fought this battle and spent countless hours preparing for trial in this case, and winning. Then they had to invest more hours attempting to protect their victory before the United States Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit, which ultimately upheld the ban on the right to marry for same-sex couples in Michigan. Undaunted, however, they have continued their battle and their outstanding lawyering, and the issue in their case will now be argued before the United States Supreme Court. I'm very proud of these brave and exceptional women lawyers who have earned their rightful place as outstanding civil rights lawyers and legal pioneers. I'm also pleased that my clients Robin Tyler and Diane Olson have joined us today. In 2004, I became the first lawyer in California to announce that if Robin and Diane were denied the right to marry here, that we would file a lawsuit and challenge the ban on the right to marry in California. They were denied a marriage license, and then we filed a lawsuit and won the right in the California Supreme Court for them and many other same-sex couples to marry in California. Because we were the first to challenge the ban, Robin and Diane then became the first same-sex couple to marry in Los Angeles County in 2008, and they have continued their leadership on this important issue ever since. Tonight, Robin and Diane and I will be hosting a reception for April, Jayne, and their lawyers at 7:30 p.m. at the Founders Metropolitan Community Church at 4607 Prospect Avenue in Los Angeles. We invite the public to attend this free event so that they can meet April and Jayne and learn more about how they can support their legal battle and their nonprofit National Marriage Challenge. April and Jayne should not have to wage this battle alone, because we all have a stake in the outcome. Love can't wait. Couples like April and Jayne, who just want to protect their family and be afforded all of the rights that other couples enjoy, should not be forced to wait any longer to enjoy the right to marry. As the United States Supreme Court said when it struck down state bans on interracial marriage in Loving versus Virginia in 1948, quote, there can be no doubt that restricting the freedom to marry solely because of racial classifications violates the central meaning of the Equal Protection Clause, end quote. Well, and then they said, these statutes also deprive the Lovings of liberty without due process of law in violation of the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. The freedom to marry has long been recognized as one of the vital personal rights essential to the orderly pursuit of happiness by free men, end quote. Of course, we would add women to that. We are now on the next legal frontier, and we look forward to the decision on this right to marry case in June. It's long overdue for April, Jayne, and thousands of other couples to enjoy the rights, respect, and dignity that they so richly deserve. By the way, for the full story of April DeBoer and Jayne Rowse, please see dailymail.com today, because it has their full story. And now I would like to present their courageous attorney, one of them, Dana Nessel. And then Jayne and April will also speak, and Robin and Diane will speak.
Well, thank you so much, Gloria, for having us out here. I can say on behalf of April and Jayne and their entire family, on behalf of my co-counsel, Carol Stanier, and our entire legal team, what an honor and a privilege it is to be asked to come out here and to have the support and the encouragement from Gloria Allred, who is such a pioneer in this area, as well as her very courageous clients, Robin and Diane. I think that everyone is well aware of the history or the place in history that Gloria Allred holds when it comes to women's rights, and the extraordinary accomplishments she has in that field. But I think people are less aware of what Gloria, together with Robin and Diane, were able to accomplish over a decade ago. And as you all know, Robin and Diane, with Gloria's help, were the first same-sex couple to be married here in Los Angeles County. So we, in many ways, feel as though our case, our Michigan case, which again is scheduled to be heard by the Supreme Court of the United States on April the 28th of this year, we see that as bringing the work of Gloria and Robin and Diane full circle. Their case, in part, started the movement many, many years ago, and certainly accomplished a great deal here in the state of California, which spread throughout the country. In our case, we hope will be the end of that circle, will be the final mark in history in regard to marriage equality and same-sex marriage. And it is our fervent hope that by the end of this court's term, that our clients, April and Jayne, will be the last couple and the last family to have to stand before a court of law here in the United States and argue why their family should not be relegated to second-class citizenship, and why their family should have all the same rights and securities and protections that all other families in the United States are able to enjoy. And we thank Gloria and Robin and Diane so much for everything they've done to assist us and to support us and to encourage us in this, and for having us out here to this beautiful, beautiful area. And we hope very much that they will all come visit us after June back in Michigan to help us plan April and Jayne's wedding, where hopefully it will not be negative 30 degrees as it was when we left last night. So we'd like to invite all of you to come out there and celebrate what we hope will be their nuptials. And we hope the court will allow that to happen. So again, on behalf of everyone involved in DeBoer v. Snyder, thank you guys so much. Thank you all for having us here.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay.
No.
Thank you very much. Okay, would you like to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what, I'm going to move this over for you.
Okay.
So that you will not have to move, okay?
Okay.
All right, I think that everybody can hear.
It's easier to move mics than children, especially sleeping ones.
All right, okay, all right. I think that should be okay. All right. Whoops. I'll sit down.
Okay. Jayne and I would like to thank everybody for being here, and we'd also like to thank Gloria
and Robin and Diane for their generosity and bringing our family out here and supporting us. Amazing to us that, you know, our case in Michigan, that was an adoption case that turned to a marriage case, is getting media attention all the way out in California. I don't think we ever imagined that we would be here, but we are, and we're proud of where we stand. And we look forward to, you know, standing in front of everybody, hopefully, in June, with the prospect of being able to get married. But again, I currently am overwhelmed, and would just like to say thank you to all of you, and thank to everybody who is supporting us here in California and Michigan and throughout the country.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. And you want to say which child you're holding? Okay.
The sleeping child is Riley. This is our son Nolan. Over here on Jane's lap is Jacob, and our beautiful daughter Ryan over here.
And grandma.
And my mother Wendy DeBoer.
Okay, thank you. One second, I'll move everything else as well, so you won't have to move.
Yay. Maybe this is different than you.
That should be good.
Ready?
Mhm.
Again, thank you for coming out. April pretty much summed up how we feel. We're very proud to be the, as people call us, the face of Marriage Challenge. I think we're the face and the family, as everything we do is about our kids. This started as an adoption case, as she told you, and you know, the rights for us to adopt is the most important thing that we want, is to be recognized as a legal family. We are very humbled that Gloria and Robin and Diane have asked us out here. We, I think we didn't believe it was them, probably when they called. So we're very proud to be out here and to just meet people and to share our story and our kids. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Robin? Thank you. Thank you.
That's okay. I can get him back. Hello. Well, here we are again. Hi. A few weeks ago, I picked up an article, and I called Dana. And I said, Dana, you don't know me. My name is Robin Tyler, but I think y'all should come to California. We want to show everybody Hollywood and the town, and what you're doing is great, and you're going to cross the finish line for us, so we want to do something for you. She said, who did you say you were? And I said, I'll send you an article. You'll see. So luckily I have from all of you press, I have articles, and Diane and I talked about this, and we wanted to bring the family out and also the attorneys. I've been working on this issue since 1974, and when two men got married here in Arizona, and 87, at all the marches, we produced marriage equality ceremonies that tens of thousands of people came to because they wanted the right to marry. So I've been working on it a long time. And to sit here with the couple and the children, to sit here with you guys knowing that you're going to finish it for us, I do believe that it will absolutely happen, and that in June you will have crossed the finish line. It's been like a relay race, and you will have won us the freedom to get married. And of course, not that the lawyers aren't helping, because you're doing the case and you've given it your all, and you're brilliant lawyers, but I do identify with the activists and the families. I want to thank Sheila Kuehl. I called her up and I said, Sheila, quick, I need 9 tickets to Universal, and she got them for us, so thank you to Sheila Kuehl. We'll be going to Universal Studios on Sunday, and on Saturday we hope to take everyone to the Santa Monica Pier, and so we want to show them that Los Angeles loves them, that Hollywood loves them, and that we really appreciate everything they've done. And this is it. It's going to happen for us. After decades of working on this issue, our people will have marriage equality in the United States, and I'm very proud to be sitting here with all of you. Thank you. Thank you.
Here's the most important question for the kids. Who wants to ride on the merry-go-round with me tomorrow? Anybody? Me. Yay! Okay, all right, that's what we're going to do. Okay.
Not mommy.
I'll go. All right, so we'll be happy to take any questions. Yes, and of course, if you have them also for the lawyers, they'll take my seat and
the legal process ahead.
Okay. Dana, you want to, or Carol?
Hello, I'm Carol Stanyar. I'm the other lawyer. The petition for certiorari has been granted in 4 states. So there is a marriage case for Kentucky and Michigan, and there's a marriage recognition case for Kentucky, Ohio, and Tennessee. Going forward, we have oral argument. We have a reply brief, the brief from the state, and we have oral argument on April 28th. After that, the court will, confer, and they will probably decide the case by the end of June.
Who have you all decided will actually argue in the Supreme Court? Because there are only 2 attorneys allowed, one for the marriage recognition and one asking for marriage equality, but you have all these attorneys. Who's going to argue?
We have a lot of attorneys who want to argue. That's still an open question. It's either going to be an attorney from Michigan alone or an attorney from Kentucky alone, and the court has a procedure where you could move for a divided argument. That's also a possibility. If there's a motion for divided argument, that means that we'll likely split between Michigan, Kentucky, and the Solicitor General, who has indicated a desire to want to argue. And that would only be on leave of the court, so the court has to agree to that. So it really is very much up in the air as to who will argue.
And when are you going to make that decision?
Well, we have to file the motion for divided argument by March 17th. So at that point, it's in the court's hands as to whether or not to select somebody or a state to argue or whether to allow divided argument. So it's going to go into April, probably before a decision is made.
Have you been told yet by the Solicitor General how much time their office wants?
We have not. Usually it's either 15 would be the standard amount, or 10 if he wants less. And then we have a total of 45 minutes for the petitioner. So that would have to be split if it's a divided argument between the Solicitor General, Michigan, and Kentucky.
So what is the distinction? What argument will the Solicitor General make that's different from the argument you guys would make?
I don't know what he's going to argue. Hopefully he'll argue the case broadly. We hope he will. We hope that he'll decide the case, or not decide the case, argue the case on due process grounds, that it's a fundamental right, and on equal protection grounds that there's just no rational basis for any of these bans. So we don't know what he's going to argue yet. His brief is due today, so we'll find that out. And we'll find out fairly quickly how much time he wants.
Do you know yet how the other side is probably going to argue their case? And the 800-pound gorilla in the room, what if the Supreme Court goes like a states' rights kind of thing and rules against this now?
In terms of how the other side's going to argue, I mean, we all we know is what, for example, Michigan has argued, and basically they said that any conceivable basis is enough to decide, to justify the bans. And what they did in our case, they said that, there's an interest in procreation, that we ought to wait and see, longer and see, how long it's going to take to, how these are going to pan out, these marriages. I don't think the court is going to decide on states' rights. We obviously are very optimistic about our chances. I don't think that's going to carry the day.
How has or how can California, maybe even Los Angeles, chip into the cause or help with the case? I think our city attorney is working
I believe so. I mean, National Marriage Challenge is our 501c. We need help. You know, we've been going this route pretty much alone for a long time, so we could use the help.
Any other questions?
Karen.
For the parents, given this whole argument about marriage should be for procreation, and given your adoption of these kids, could you speak to that argument in particular?
Oh, okay.
Say, look,
All right.
the irony of the situation.
All right.
It's a very interesting question. I don't think I've had to answer this question yet. You know, obviously, we have not given birth to any of our children. However, we do have 4 beautiful children that we are raising in our home that have 2 parents. That only one parent is legally recognized in our state. And, you know, they do have 2 parents. They need 2 parents. There's nothing in our home that is any different than any 2-parent household. We share the duties. We raise the kids together. We share our work responsibilities. We share the household responsibilities. You know, I don't necessarily think that you have to procreate in order to get married. There's people throughout the United States that are married that are not procreating, don't plan to procreate. So I don't know.
And can't procreate.
And can't procreate.
That's me.
Yes, correct.
Thank you.
There are even heterosexual couples that cannot procreate that are married. So, you know, the argument, I don't know, is a little strange to me. You know, obviously we want to get married. Marriage to us, although it means so much to Jane and I, means more to our children. And the fact that they will have safeties and protections that every other child of a heterosexual family has. And truly, that's what we're looking for.
Any other questions, or did you want to add to that, or is that fine? Okay.
Well, when they talk about
Anything else?
procreation, didn't
Yeah,
somebody
right, yeah.
create these children?
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah.
right in front of you.
Yeah,
Here's the
right,
children.
exactly.
Here are the children.
It's okay. It's okay.
Also, I'd like to say that I'm president of the Women's Equal Rights Legal Defense and Education Fund, which was founded in 1978, and we will be listed as an amicus in support of Jane and April and the issue in their case. And that brief,
She's stretching.
all the amicus briefs are due today.
Okay.
I have one more question. How have the kids been responding to all of this attention?
Would you like to, let me,
The,
okay,
Obviously
wait, let me
sleeping
move
through
this
it.
over here.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, sleeping and yawning
Okay.
at the moment. You know, when we started this, the kids were basically about 2 and 3, so they've kind of got used to people coming in and taking pictures. So as you can see, they're not very affected by it. They don't understand what's going on. They know that people come in and take our pictures and talk to us. But the full ramifications, they don't understand what this is going to do for their futures, and kids like theirs all around the country.
Can I follow up? How do you explain this to the kids, what's going on right now?
Yeah, we just tell them that, somebody's going to be coming in and talking to moms and taking pictures, and they will be talking to them, and they've just been pretty good about it. They're actually very good-natured children, thankfully, and they kind of just roll with the flow, and if Nolan could get a hand on a camera, you guys would be in trouble. He loves the cameras.
He's a budding
So,
cameraman.
okay. You want to sit over here? Does he want to sit here? Yes, okay, all right, okay. All right.
I think they also,
If you're gonna, want to say anything, you might want to come down to the, to the mic.
Oh.
Okay, all right, so, all right, very cool, very cool. All right,
The other thing is Ryan does ask us frequently when we are getting married, in the sense of the whole family, as she thinks that we're all kind of all going to get married. So we do have to explain that it's mom and mommy getting married, and then they will be a full legal family. But the question of all of us getting married comes up frequently.
Okay.
Don't touch things.
All right. Are there any other questions?
And talk about the challenges of disabilities, just in general in the American society.
The special needs.
Oh, with our, this one is one of them. She is the other one that have special needs. Jacob has a lot of sensory issues, so loud noises and things like that overwhelm him frequently. He does have some learning disabilities, which he's actually coming over very well. He did not walk or talk till he was 2. He was actually born at 1 pound and 9 ounces. He was not supposed to live. He was in liver failure when we brought him home. So the medical miracle that he is, because no doctor gave him any hope of living, he's come this far. Our other little girl has hearing deficits that we are working very hard to hopefully get cleared up. She's 2.5 since for about 2 years, so she has some hearing loss. Her speech is not fully developed. So we do work with a lot of specialists weekly for the special needs 2 kids.
Okay, I guess we can just take maybe another question. Then it's time for pizza and cookies. Okay.
I
All right.
want to say one thing, and that these lawyers have this is coming out
Oh
of
my
their
God, I'm
pocket.
so
They're not
sorry.
big organizations. So if people can donate to the National Marriage Challenge, it's a 501c3. They need the money. They're not getting a lot of money from big organizations or anything, which is fine, but they need the money. So please help this couple and help the attorneys and donate to the National Marriage Challenge. Okay?
And we invite you to come tonight to the Metropolitan Church at 7:30 as well, where you'll have an opportunity to other members of the community say hello and answer any questions they have, and we'll also be speaking. So thank you again. I want to say everybody bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Onward and upward. Oh, and Robin and Diane and I will also be going to the United States Supreme Court on April 28th. Right, Robin?
Yes.
And so we want to be there in support of these wonderful, as they say, legal pioneers, all of them, and just very special people. And I thank them so much. And April and Jane, I mean, it was a challenge to raise one child for me, and although I think she turned out pretty great. And my hat's off to you for, and this is the case.
Yes.
This is the case where it needs to be decided. So thank you so much for coming.